Yeah.
So, you know,
So
Mercury retrograde, girl. You should see on my end. I could just see your eyes like here. Look. And then see, I can watch it. So it says, okay, so which it means it appear on their profile. Here.
So you saw as my eyeballs?
I'm having a conversation with your eyeballs. If you could see me, that's fine. But I'm seeing a black screen that says request to be in this live video, and I sent request. Is there anything happening on your end now?
No, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end it and start over. Maybe that's what it is, because I don't see any black screens. I see myself fine, but I don't want to look at.
Do you see me?
I see you fine, but
wow. I mean, then I don't care. I don't need to see myself.
okay.
Yeah, we could keep going. Maybe
Okay,
at some point, my screen. I don't want to hit cancel because last time I did that, you went away. But yeah, I could see you. I don't know why. There's like a telephone booth with a line through it.
The telephone booth with a line through it.
Oh my God. All right.
I think Instagram is just acting up. It's on and off. The Instagram lives act up. I see other people saying stuff all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I literally just finished doing a big sound healing.
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah. So.
Much needed. I'm sure.
Much needed. What are you up to?
This. Not really much. Just been writing and doing my Bullies Keep Out stuff and trying to catch up on some of that, because some of the stuff was on a little, and she left again. Instagram does not like us. All right. I don't know why it keeps throwing her off.
Did I go away for a minute?
You did. All of a sudden it said it left and I was by myself.
I don't know what my phone is doing. It's just crazy. It's like, I should take a screenshot and show you what's happening.
Seriously, because I'm just looking at it and I'm like, what? I see everything totally fine.
Okay, great. Well, then don't worry about it. I have a lot of frequency going on here. I just did a sound healing, so it's probably making the phone really confused.
That's what it is. You broke the phone.
I think I might have broken the phone. Not the first time, girl. Not the first time.
But yeah, no, I was saying before Instagram decided to knock us all over the place. Yeah, no, I mean, I was just, been catching up on the stuff for this because I've been, we were kind of on hiatus with a couple of things, so trying to get that back into, trying to do that, and then, I mean, not much. It's New York. I mean, nothing's open. I have to be careful even when stuff does open, so it's like, it's not really that exciting.
But nothing is open.
I mean, the phase 1, not too much. I mean, a lot of people were allowed to go. I mean, phase 2 and a lot of restaurants are going to be, I think, opening Monday. I think he was announcing he's no longer doing everyday, press things, which is a good sign, I guess. He's going to do it when it's needed. I guess the numbers have been holding steady. So,
you guys are doing better than, we're not doing that great out here.
Oh, really? I was going to ask you how you were doing.
The numbers have spiked.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But we're still, everything's like pretty much open.
Well, they kind of can't go back on that now at this point.
No, they can't go back. But I think what's going to happen is, well, a reason too why it might be that the numbers spike is a lot more people have been tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More testing. A lot of people don't realize that the numbers do that when there's more testing. Like New York at one point, the numbers were going through the roof, not so much new cases, but because of testing.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that you have to pay attention to all that background noise, not just look at numbers and just see poof, like boom. We had, I mean, hospitalizations are down. I know intubation is down. I know that new cases were down. I know deaths were down. I think every single one of our numbers were down. Now, whether that will spike in a couple of weeks, my doctor seems to be optimistic about herd immunity, but he also believes that he thinks honestly that's what's going to be the thing, where it's going to be a herd immunity thing that we just need at some point. But he's optimistic. You know, he said, you know, I would say give it about 4 to 6 weeks to see like if it spikes and gets real bad, or if it keeps doing well and goes down, and then we might be, you know.
Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It seems like that's where most of the conversation.
Like, do we have to talk about COVID? No, I mean, you know what I mean. It's just like it's the thing that's everywhere, but.
Yeah, it's like the topic of I think every conversation at some point, but it's like, you know, you eventually get tired of talking about it.
Well, you do. Just it's yeah, it's just depressing.
Yeah. I'm sorry I won't let you donate. Somebody's saying I won't let them donate. It could be because if you're in another country, that's like, I mean, this charity it's an LGBT for the communities of color. It's a great organization. I do not know if like it could be because you're out of the country. And this one is in New York of why you guys can't donate. Some of you are saying you can't donate. I'm sorry. So anyway, I wanted to ask you, and I thought this was an interesting, you know, intertwining of like when you do like a lot of what you do, everything you do, but is very inspirational, motivational. Like even your dish with Trish cooking. I mean, everything that kind of goes into that, you have some type of inspiration and goodness and beauty and love that comes out of that stuff that you do. And I know that ever since when we first met with bullying, you always had this really interesting, beautiful view on it, different than some type of the norm.
Yeah.
So do you think that, like, what ways do you think in like the stuff that you do, whether it be sound healing, dish with Trish, do you think that that could have like any type of impact on how you view bullying and the bullying situation? Like any way you think that any of that stuff can intertwine to, you know?
Absolutely. You know, I think we talked about this before, but maybe some people who are on the live today don't know this, but I was bullied.
Yeah.
I was bullied a lot. And it's funny because people get bullied for so many different reasons.
Right.
I was being bullied because I was a model. I was a young model. So in school, you know, my picture would be on billboards and in magazines, and the TV guide, and the teacher would bring it in, and people just hated me for that. And I would get to leave school early, so they were like, why does she get to leave school early? Because my mother would pick me up and we would go to, you know, my jobs, and then they would try to beat me up in the bathroom, and they would draw on my pictures in the hallway that the teachers would put up. They'd make a mustache, glasses, they'd draw black my teeth and all that. And it was really, really painful. I decided to kind of pull Jesus and turn the other cheek, because I felt like, wow, for them to bully me, there must be like some really, really deep pain going on for them in their homes. Who knows what's happening to them? So in their eyes, I looked like, oh, I was doing great, but they had no idea what was happening to me.
Right.
And so I think everything I do right now, to be honest with you, I do try to come from that place of like having compassion for the other person, because I don't know what happened to them.
Right.
I might look at them and think, oh, well, they got the life. Or I might look at this one and think, oh, he's an asshole. If I feel like that, I'm not even giving them a chance to, you know, really show me what happened to them. Right. So like with Dish with Trish and with the sound healings, the reason I think there's a crossover there is because when you disarm people, when you disarm them with love and kindness, and you're just coming from a good place, it's going to be really hard for them not to go, whoa, maybe I should pay attention here.
Right.
And if they don't, I mean, you know, it's like, of course, we could only do what we can do. We can't change, you know, everyone. But I think the reason there's crossover there is both of those things that, whether it's the sound or the healing, it's coming from a place of love.
Right.
So I think love heals, but
absolutely,
there's got to be awareness around the situation to the bully, you know. And we had some fun ideas, remember when we talked years ago?
Yeah.
I wanted to like create bully challenges and
yeah.
You know,
well, your PSA, you started it. We started it a little bit.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is, here's how I feel, Dana. It's like if people can be in another person's shoes just for a moment and like see that and feel it and go, oh damn, I had no idea. Then that's when that bully could change, you know?
Yeah.
The bully needs to understand, like, you know, and I have compassion sometimes for the bullies.
Right.
Because they're probably being bullied at home or they're being bullied by their friends.
Of
and
course.
the only place that they could feel like they have power is to let me dominate this one.
Right. Control.
And, yeah, but I think if we could bring awareness to the bullies and love them, because underneath all that anger, there's just pain. And if we can find and show them that we understand their pain, we have compassion, but they don't have to do it the way they're doing it. Ooh, wow, that could be huge, you know?
Yeah, no, I loved when you said that because I have a similar way of thinking. Like, you know, people have always asked us, do we work with bullies? Do we help bullies? And like, of course. I said, if somebody wants help, we're not going to say no.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that I always felt that you have to have, you know, yes, I understand that there has to be consequences and punishment, but at the same time, they have to be rehabilitated and helped, because if you're not doing that and you're just punishing them or you're just giving them consequences, then they're only going to get more angry and they're going to see that part and they're going to just feel more that they're not cared about or enough or loved, whatever's going on, whether it's in the home, which is very statistically often usually where it comes from, but other times it can come from friends, school, peer pressure, and sometimes even adults obviously can come from relationships. It can come from and so many different reasons, depending on age groups and stuff like that. But I mean, there's so many, like you said, I think that there were a couple of instances I saw on, I forgot who it was. I want to say Patton Oswalt. I'm not sure, but somebody was being really, really mean to him and like bullyish and whatnot. And what he did, instead of like really kind of just reacting and responding, he took a step back and like he went to the person's page, like their Twitter feed, and saw that this person was going through a lot. And instead of responding negatively, or even if like you can still respond respectfully and kind, and you know, some people could, you know, defend themselves, but he responded in trying to help him and see what he needed. And like, I think the person had a GoFundMe, and that person in turn turned around, apologized, and was really not a bad person. They just were very lost and angry. And he kind of like, it was a beautiful kind of thing to see unfold.
Yeah. You know, okay, so you remember the movie Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon?
Yeah.
So you remember the scene where they're in the therapist's office and, you know, Will's like, you know, he's all cool. He don't need nobody. He don't love nobody. He breaking up with the girl because he don't want to be hurt first, da, 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 you know? And then when Robin Williams says to him, it wasn't your fault.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I know that. No, it wasn't your fault. And he keeps doing it. And he doesn't care if he gets hit, and he gets hit, and he keeps going in until finally Will breaks down, cries, wraps his arms around him because he needed a hug. Mm-hmm. He needed a hug so bad, and he needed to cry for his pain so bad that if he released that, then he could change. But otherwise, it's like you're holding this wall.
Defensive mode,
not going to give in. But that's why I'm saying, if we could disarm the bullies, if we could disarm the people who have nothing but hate right now, we will find underneath there a broken child who didn't get love, who didn't get what they needed, and therefore they're lashing out. So it's got to come from love. It's got to come from healing. You can't do it in a hard way. It just doesn't work.
No, yeah, I never was a huge, I know people are fans of like tough love, and I kind of come from a generation of that. And I I never really believed in that because I kind of feel like when it's a child and they're young or even teenagers, and even, I mean, look, even until you're older, I don't feel that always works because I kind of feel like if a person needs support and love, you're really not still giving that to them. And I don't know. I never was a huge fan of the tough love thing.
Yeah.
I get sometimes you have to put your foot down. I get sometimes you got to do this and that. But the tough love to me just seemed like an excuse or an easy way out and say, well, it's tough love, you'll get it. And it's like,
because it's harder to make yourself vulnerable to someone and actually show them love. And that's what it is. Like, we come, like you said, I have ancestors from Ireland and Italy, and it's like, they don't say they love you. You're just supposed to know. You're supposed to know. Well,
but you need to hear that. Yeah. You need to hear that. I'm sorry. That's something you need to hear.
And actions do speak louder than words, but it's nice to be told, hey, I love you. I'm here,
I appreciate you,
If you're in pain, I want to hear it. I see you and I care. We all need that. I don't care who you are.
No, we do. And, I can say from experience from, my background and growing up, I mean, that was something I desperately needed. Now, people always ask me that when I went through that, because everybody knows from my story, my bullying did not happen from peers and school and any of that stuff. It came from people, like grown adults. But I'm just saying, like, that was more abuse. And then, but, it's all forms of bullying. But what I'm saying in that aspect, is that you so desperately need, but people say, well, what made you choose a path to be a good person? And I'm like, well, look, here's the thing. We all have good and bad. Now, I chose my path to be nothing like those people because that was just me, and I just never wanted to be like that. And I saw how miserable those people actually were. It really wasn't making them happy to be that way or to hurt or abuse or, emotionally break someone down to like this big. And, I don't know. There was just like, there's people that do go the opposite way. They go the opposite way and they turn into a bully or they turn into abusive and, they turn into those people are worse and monsters sometimes. Absolutely. And they're just like,
absolutely.
I don't know
if you know that Hitler, he felt that because in Vienna, there was a teacher who he felt like really made him feel very small and lashed out, put him down, made him feel stupid. And, we never know what we're creating. Our youth, everyone around us, we have to really look at those little beings and say, we have to esteem these little beings. We have to esteem these children. We have to make them feel like they have value, like they have worth, that they mean something. And if not, those kids can go awry because they're like, well, I don't care. Fuck it. Nobody cares about me. Nobody's really interested in what I'm saying or doing. So let me start some trouble. Then I get
out. Yeah. It's usually cries for attention and some type of validation that they're needing. It kind of goes back to the video I did on my personal page about people pleasing. But, because when I do mentoring, it's like, I myself am a people pleaser, and and it's not a bad quality, but it takes a lot away from you at times.
Absolutely.
And I always have done that since I was even younger, and people were like, well, you're too nice. And I'm like, well, I don't really know if I believe there's such a thing as too nice. I think that maybe there is, I don't know, but I kind of just feel like it's more, I know why I did it.
Can I ask you, if you want to be really honest, can I say to you, well, why do you think you do it? Because
you could absolutely. Well, yeah, I was, when you're abused and emotionally and physically, you have that, you don't feel loved, you don't feel like you're enough. It stays with you because if it happened for years and years and years, it stays with you even to your adulthood. So it's like the validation, support, being loved, knowing that you're enough, like all those negative feelings that you keep hearing in your head, or that was put into your head and drummed into your head. That saying of, if you're told something many, many times, you start to believe it is very, very, very real.
You are, and right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, so I know why I do it. And I think self-awareness is a very big first step. I know exactly why I do it. And if anybody, yeah, so I mean,
you could still be beautiful, loving, giving, and all that, and then just have really healthy boundaries, because you don't want to lose yourself and you don't want to keep putting yourself last, you know?
Yeah. People, over the years, I've had some people, they were like, you probably being one of them at one point, but I know many people have told me, like, you need to, like, put up boundaries, you need to, you know, have this, you know, and that was very hard for me always, because I was like, well, I don't like to say no.
Me too. Trust me, I remember my friend once gave me this on my birthday, this bag of popcorn, and it said, "You are a popping, pleasing person, you know, a people popping, pleasing person." And it was a bag of popcorn, but it was because I was like a people pleaser, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just, you know, came from that thing of like, oh, I want to be loved. I want to be, or, you know, I want to be enough, you know? And so I get it.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is, now let's turn that around. And I kind of did that in my video. I said, let's turn that around and look at it in this way, because I kind of felt this interesting. And one of the things that I mentioned is, if we have to worry that the people in our lives are going to get mad, angry, disappointed, or like yell at us because we have to say no, or we have to take care of ourselves, or we have to be selfish, if they're going to get negative or give negative energy or get mad or upset, or like, those are relationships you have to question, whether they're romantic or friends.
Yeah, it's not unconditional then, you know? It's not. It's like, oh, well, if you're not doing what I want, then, you know, so you have to reevaluate. But people who really, really love you and you put up a boundary, they like actually get proud of you. I know. I'm like, wow, good for you. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself, you know?
Yeah, I've always told people, I was like, you know, like, if somebody has to say no or they can't do something, or even I have to, it's like, there's this mutual respect of that. Like, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. Are you sure you can? Like, it's okay. I'm not going to be mad. I always make sure I tell people, like, I appreciate apologies, but you don't have to, like, think I'm mad or upset. I appreciate you. I don't do that whole give and take thing with being kind and loving and supporting somebody. You kind of do that regardless of what they're going to do for you or what you're going to do for each other. And I always try to send that message out to people. It's like, it's not about that. It's, you know, nobody owes you anything because you decided to do something for somebody, or be kind or generous or support a friend. I mean, even if friends and greatest friends and whatever, nobody owes each other anything, because it's what we should be doing, as, you know, it's for each other.
That's called scorekeeping. If you do something and, you know, you're just really doing it from your heart, you just forget you did it. I mean, I have people mention things that I've done for them, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? It's like, there should be nothing attached to your giving or doing, you know?
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
like, hey, I do this, then I'll get XYZ, or they'll be thinking I'm da 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 da.
Yeah, and it's not authentic. It's not authentic, because anything that's forced is never authentic.
Yeah.
I know the people I surround myself with, I want to, like, if you want to listen to me, or you want to do something, or I want to do something for, like, you want the person to want to do it. You don't want to feel like you're kind of like forcing them or pushing them into it, or they're like, okay, fine. You know, and there's times where I've done that. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm just like, well, maybe I should have said no. And I'm like,
you know, a lot of times when you do something you don't want to do, the day comes, like, you know, and you're like, I don't know why I said yes. I don't know why I just wasn't honest. And like, I learned that like a while ago, because then you feeling like, I think sometimes when you do that, you could like resent what you're doing, you know?
Yeah. It can kind of have the opposite effect, and then that energy is felt by people.
Exactly.
You know, even virtually. I mean, you know, I could kind of feel that stuff from people when I'm on a phone call. I mean, like, I could just read energies and people's feelings. I know somebody one time said, you know, a long time ago to me, before I was kind of like, you know, into, like, I really got into that stuff, I thought it was kind of crazy, like, you know, because you know how old fashioned, like, Italian, you know, my grandmothers, if you told them that type of stuff, they look at you like you went nuts.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, oh, they were like, you're an empath, and I'm just like, what?
I know. I'm half Italian, so I got all the, you know, my mother and my grandmother, the like psychic and the Malukias, and they could read everything, and you know, oh, I just got a vibe, Trish. I know, da da da. They were like, and they really They really are. They really were.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have said that, hey, guess what? Somebody told me I was empathic, they would have been like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to go to therapy.
I know. I mean, so I think when you are empathic, I've learned, you have to be so careful. It's a gift in one way, and then in another way, it can hurt you. Because
I definitely
I can literally sometimes walk by someone or be in the room with someone and I could feel, like I could feel their pain, their past. And I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And I have to like shield myself and protect myself. Honestly.
Yeah. It's almost like it's almost like, like when people, you'll see like sometimes in that, like it's a spontaneous like cry. Because like there's something you're feeling from something that's surrounding you or something that you're just feeling, vibrationally or whatever it is through somebody that even if you're just like sometimes like, even if you're just as silly as people might think it sound, even when you're just texting. I just, but, when I was younger and people used to tell me those things, like random people, like just strangers that used to come in like at the work or something. Like when I ran a OT office, I had a patient come in one time and he just looks at me and he's like, and I was just, and I was still learning back then, but I mean, so I wasn't completely weirded out, but and I was older, but he was like, it's, you're special. And he was saying all this stuff and I'm just looking at him like, but then I was like, you know what? Like I said, I was still learning at that point. So, I mean, I wasn't completely freaked out by it, but, the patient next to him kind of was because they were just like,
yeah.
But,
that's part of what made you start Bullies Keep Out?
What made me start it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, was that part of it? Like that you were feeling all these people's pain of being bullied and your own, but what was the kernel there?
What it was is that from when I was younger, because I get this question a lot. I did a blog talk interview about it, and she asked me a lot of those type of questions. From when I was younger, always had this innate, need and feeling, and I always feel it was innate in me to help and give back, and just be like, I've always had a really big heart. I mean, a woman hugged me one time of somebody that I knew and at church, and she hugged me and she goes, "You have a really big heart." And I'm like, okay. That was when I was younger and I was just like, okay. And maybe should I go to the doctor because now
you have an enlarged
now I have an enlarged heart. I was like, I don't need anything else. I was like, but I realized what she meant. But it was just funny because I always like try to joke with people even through my own pain, and when I'm struggling, I'm still smiling and laughing and stuff like that. But I always was like that. And as I got older, I was like, well, I want to kind of do more than just like donating, sharing, retweeting, this, that, or volunteering. And when my grandmother died, I was like very, very close to her. And I was like completely, really lost. And I was very, very numb and depressed. And I couldn't sleep one night. And I was just like laying there in the dark. And all of a sudden, all this, like my mind started flooding of all these ideas. And surrounding that, obviously, because of my personal past and trauma and what I've personally experienced, that's why I feel the idea and gift I got kind of came to me in the matter of bullying and domestic violence and suicide awareness and all this stuff that I encompass with Bullies Keep Out. But it kind of just came out of nowhere, and I was like, this is not going to be one of those things we're going to, people go, I'm going to do it, and then you never do it, and it's like an idea that sits around for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I just kind of really woke up the next day and went like full force with it, and it started slow, but I mean, everything starts slow. I mean, that's kind of where it came from, and that's kind of how it originated, and where, and the name so much, I don't know, that kind of just popped in my head, and that's what I went with.
What year did you start it?
It was 2013, I think, when I officially started putting it up on social media, and we had a website.
Yeah, what year did you call me first? Right around then, right? 2014 maybe?
It was, I've known you for a while. Like, I think I asked you to come on as an advocate a while back, probably 14.
Yeah, I think it was
maybe
around
15.
Yeah,
It was a while back.
We were talking, and I remember where I was living, so I was just
Yeah, we Skyped a couple of times, and I remember
yeah.
because we had a couple of, conversations through Skype, and we were talking about things to do and whatnot. And so it was a while ago, I want to say, but yeah, I remember that. Somebody had read your book, and I remember that's how you got referred to me. Somebody had read your book
Okay.
Yeah, somebody had read your book, and they were like, "Did you ever think?" And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, do you have like contact information, or am I just supposed to like go?" But then I found you on social media. But yeah, somebody had mentioned that her book is really great, and I had the type of personality, and I think she'd be great for what you do. And I get a lot of people that refer people, and they're like, "Hey, this person, try this person. Oh, hey, go."
Right.
So, that's how, which I think I told you that once. I don't remember who the person was. It was just like a random, hey, have you ever spoken to Trish?
I thought it was through April Showers, so that's interesting. The book, that's cool.
Yeah, it was just somebody who had read your book, and they randomly had said, did you ever think about reaching out to Trish Doolan?
Did they read my book, The Singing Gardener, or was it?
Yeah, that's what it was. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Oh, because I have another book too, and there's like some bullying in there.
I don't know. I know they said you were an author. And that's really all they told me. They said she's an author. I've read her book. It's really great, and I think she'd be good for Bullies Keep Out. It was a conversation I had forever ago, but I know it was around something regarding your book, and I was like, all right. I was like, absolutely. I said I'm always up for amazing humans and good people and humble people.
All amazing humans. You froze for a second.
Yeah, my alarm clock came down, but yeah, I've gotten that question a lot. Of people ask me because they were like, did you start it? Because I mean, obviously, of course, from personal experience, I think that's why a lot of us get involved in some of the causes that we do, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that's how kind of it originated. Just like, I was just completely, and then I remember I went to Jennifer Pasilov's New York City yoga workshop.
Oh yeah.
For 3 hours, and she knew about my grandmother, and she really paid close attention to me and took care of me in that workshop and really kind of helped me heal a little. But when I came out of that workshop, I felt like, I used to laugh at yoga and meditation too.
Now it works.
Yeah, no, it's great, but like I said, when you come from New Yorkers, Italians, I mean, it's like that type of stuff is just not,
it's like taboo.
Yeah, it's like, what? But I'll tell you is like, yeah, I think when I really started getting into that journey, it was from Jennifer. And she's wonderful. I adore her. She's great. I actually bought her book, on being human. But that's kind of when around the time where everything will kind of Bullies Keep Out and my grandmother and losing her and all that stuff, it kind of just all flourished from there. So,
beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things I still want to do with it, but I think that, I'm always happy where it's at because the goal is always to raise awareness and help people and make a difference. It's not to be gigantic or, that's never been my goal. My goal has always been to do it as much as possible with as many great people as possible to raise awareness. Of course, we have charity fundraisers and stuff like that, but it's not just about, I also think it goes way beyond, just giving money and donate. I think it, causes they go way beyond that. There's so many different things we could do, and that's why I do so many different things. Because somebody asked me one time, you do so many different things, like from PSAs and this and that and blah. And I'm like, well, I do it because I feel that that's one of the most, even Mikey said one time when we were having a conversation about getting a physical event, which we're still going to do at some point, but we were talking about how important it was to really raise awareness more so than, anything else. It's probably one of the most important. Like when I spoke at a New Jersey school, the kids were so they were paying attention. They cared so much about it. This school was really great with bullying.
I think, I was going to just say to you, I think the great target age is the really young kids, because you grab them before they develop these habits, so to speak, or these learnings, these learned behaviors, and they're like sponges. That's the best time to learn languages, and it's the best time to learn biggest life lessons. And I think it would be great if you did that to, bullies keep out in the schools, to get some programs going in the schools, and, just present a curriculum that addresses, you could come in and talk to people, and you could even show videos.
Absolutely.
Little kid, I think, because especially when you're young, you feel like there'll be kids watching that and listening and relating, like, yeah, I don't want to be bullied. And they need to feel at that age, they just need to feel like they have some power, like in their voice and in what they feel and say and do. And I think, Bullies Keep Out could like really build some self-esteem in the young children.
Yeah. I mean, we do it online, but like, I was one of my advocates, Doreen Taylor, had asked me if I wanted to come with her because they had asked her to speak, and I was like, absolutely. And they did this big banner. It was great. And it was like, we went around all the classrooms and the teachers. I mean, everybody took all these pictures. I mean, everybody was it was like 300 students. And I mean, of course, I would love to have more of that in public speaking. I mean, I do motivational public speaking, with podcasts and this type of stuff and whatnot, but I would love to like physically get out there and do it, because these schools don't have programs. They don't do it. It's not, it doesn't cost a lot of money to have, okay, let me have a speaker. Let's talk about bullying. Let's watch a video. I mean, I've let people, like, they've asked if they can use Mikey's.
Have you approached any schools, Dana?
I haven't.
I think
there was one that contacted us at one point and it fell through, but after that, no.
But you know what I think our phone call is about today? I think that's what got to go on the agenda. I think it's got to start with one school, then one school will tell another school. Yeah. And I feel really strongly about it right now.
Yeah, that was kind of always a goal.
The Cracker Jack box when you used to get the surprise? Yeah. Today on the Bullies Keep Out with Trish Doolan, this is the Cracker Jack surprise. I think that you have to start a curriculum and go to one school first. Just make them sit down with you and present it, and then they'll love it. Tell another school. That's how it could slowly build, like grassroots. Yeah, I mean, that's actually,
absolutely. I mean, it's something that I know I'm good at, and I know that I love to do because I love kids. I mean, I love kids, and I'm good with kids. I've always been great with kids, my friends' kids. And I love to, because they listen, they're not, like you said, they're like little sponges, and it's important. It's
the
important.
Best time to learn. And I bet you there's some people on this call right now who live in other countries, and it's global. Bullies are global. Come on.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've told people I'm happy to Zoom into something. I'm happy to Skype into something. I mean, especially now, but I'm just saying, like, I'm more than happy to do that. Somebody mentioned that to me, like, and I said, well, it's not even so much like it's just to teach them. It's just to talk to them and let them feel heard. And it's like, it's not even so much like these schools make it seem like, oh, we don't have time for these big programs. Like, what program? Just have somebody come in and talk. It's even if the teachers before each class, like once a month or a couple times a year, whatever, have conversations about bullying, have rallies,
and you could make it interactive. I mean, I would be happy to have private conversations with you about this, but I used to teach, I've gone through so many different stages in my life of doing different things, but I would teach acting class to kids, and the teachers would come up to me after and run after me and go, we've never had a response like this from the kids, and they want to know, make sure you're coming back. And then I also used to read through Screen Actors Guild it was called Book Pals.
Oh,
and
nice.
All the teachers used to request me. And you know why? Because when you go in and you're talking to the kids, you have to make each one feel special and seen and witnessed, and then that's when they start to really trust you, and then they're really open to listening to what you have to say. And then if they know that you were bullied too, they'll be like, wow, I'm not the only one, I'm not unique, look at her, she's been through it. And so I really feel like it could be amazing to do this, because then they don't have grow into bullies, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, yeah, we definitely would have more private conversations about that. But yeah, I definitely would. Yeah, I mean, that's always been a goal of mine, is to kind of, you know, if I could do it to where it's a full-time thing where this is what I do, and that would be my ultimate, you know, goal and dream, is to be able to go around speaking like all over the place. And, you know, it's something I've always wanted to do with it. And I was like, you know, but of course, you know, I just could never, like, sometimes, like, you know, my mind was so filled with so many things, kind of like where you said, like, you know, you're doing this, you're doing that, you do so many things. And it's like one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm going to plan this. And then it gets put on a shelf. And then it's like, okay, but how am I going to figure this out? And I'm going to figure that out. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of something that I always was there. And I would just, because we got a great response. These kids were.
Oh, I lost you for a second.
These things keep coming down. We got a great response. The kids were running up to us, hugging us. They were, you know, the teachers were even like, you know, oh, I want to hear your story. And that's kind of where I was just like, because I never really talked about myself. And then, like, that's kind of, and then with other people in my life, it was a culmination of things of where I started actually, like, if I don't talk about myself at some point, people are going to be like, well, what's your story? Like,
Yeah.
why are you afraid to tell yours? And I had many reasons, but I slowly started to do it from many inspirational women and other things, and then stuff like that. And, you know, so it was like, and then, I mean, of course I took that big step of doing it in a book, and I was just like terrified, but I was like, a friend of mine was like, you know what? It's good, let people see it. You can inspire women all over the place, and it's, you know, it'll be a good a good healing part of your journey. So I was like, all right, let me do it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
You know, when you come forward and tell your truth, first of all, it's so freeing for you, and it really lets people see that, you know, you made yourself vulnerable, and they can do it too. You're an example then, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's why I kind of started doing a lot of the things of, showing more, you know, like, I really believe in being authentic, and that's a big thing with me. And, you know, that whole, I remember people used to tell me, and I don't know if you ever really, it doesn't seem like something, I don't know if you have, what you think of it. What do you think of the whole fake it till you make it mentality?
Well, I mean, there's a kind of thing like I act, you know, act as if, you know, I say it like that, you know, fake it till you make it. I hear that too, but like my mentor and, you know, my acting teacher, you know, if I think, like, if you're already acting like you have it, you will definitely eventually get there. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's kind of, I mean, but when you're acting too, like, because I do act, I like the idea of acting as if I have it, or acting as if this, and then there's an energy you feel in your body, then you actually can manifest it, you know?
Right. So, I was just going to say manifesting.
Yeah.
No, I totally believe in that.
Yeah, I do too.
The one thing, I mean, yeah, that was another thing that Jennifer told me, but, you know, the whole, when I was much younger, fake it till you make it, I kind of felt like I was falling into this. When you fake it so much, you kind of forget what it's like to be really happy and really feel things. And I don't know, I kind of just felt like I was just numb all the time, and I was always just kind of laughing and smiling, and I was like, am I just going to get stuck in that mentality?
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I know what you mean, and I don't condone that at all. I think you have to be authentic. I think there's areas where you can, you know, and I think fake it till you make it is kind of like, it puts a negative thing on it, but I think there's a way of, like, you know, trying to step into your confidence, let's say, you know, you're trying to, you know, feel what it's like, but it's really hard when you don't know what it feels like to be beyond where you are yet. So sometimes when people are phony, like smiling and faking it when they're not, then that doesn't fly with me either, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, look, I mean, many of us during struggles, and I get it, like, you know, a lot of us have so many things going on in our personal lives, especially in today's society, but I'm just saying, like, you know, there's many of times when I've done a live or I've done, or I've had a conversation. I mean, I'm struggling in that moment, but I feel like if I don't make any attempt to try to get out of that to some extent, I'm just going to drown in it. So I don't really see that as faking it so much as if, you know, like, yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like, yeah, I mean, I might be a hot mess in this moment or sad or depressed or everything that's going on, or feel like I'm getting kicked in the face constantly.
You're pushing through.
I'm trying to push through.
Optimistic, you know. I believe in optimism and being positive, and you just, even sometimes maybe people are really always down and negative and depressed, but if you're always acting like that, you're going to attract more of that.
Exactly.
You know? So that's why I like the you know, flipping it to say, hey, you know, act as if, because I think when you're putting out some good positive energy, you're going to get good positive energy coming back to you. Putting out negative energy, bad shit's going to happen.
Just, you know? It's like, you know, it's like, what else? You know, it's like, you know, I've always said this from a while back. It's like, I always kind of started believing that what you put into the universe, you get back.
Yeah.
And I really like that mentality, because it is true. Because I've noticed when I've been in, like, when I hit walls and I kind of get that stuck in that dark cloud, and that darkness, like, I notice, like, the crap that just keeps coming, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm done. Like, and then, like, I kind of,
you come out and you have a ticket on the car.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, if I get kicked in the face one more time, I'm not getting up. It's just gonna be a KO, and I'm done, and that's it. I'm tired. I'm too tired to get back up, you know. And but then all of a sudden, like, you have a rejuvenation, and it's kind of like, okay, you get out of that. And I think that's what's really important, and I think people need to make sure they do, is that it's okay to be there if you just make sure that you come out of it.
Yeah, you can't just live there and wallow all the time. You just can't. I mean, and it's really for your own good, but a lot of people around you will just be like, and I'm not saying, you know, we have friends who go through stuff and we're always there for them, but I'm just saying, you got to kind of at some point say, hey, I'm going to give myself 24 hours to wallow in this, and then I got to put the light, because, you know, you don't want to create habits where you're just so used to your go-to as being like, you know, depressed or messed up or negative, you know.
Well, it's draining. It's draining. You know, it's very draining.
You and people around you, if they're around that all the time, you know.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they love you. It's like your people love you and friends love you and stuff like that, and people care. But it's like, if it's always like, oh my God, like, it's like when it's always that constant thing. I mean, and I've been around people like that. When it's always that constant energy, it's like, okay, now I'm just like, now it's affecting me, you know.
Okay, so look, I do sound healings, right? So I have 9 bowls, right? And they all are for different parts of your body, chakras, and their frequency. Let's talk about frequency. If you're always getting someone who's coming in at this low negative frequency and you're here, guess what happens in sound? They go like this, right? Yeah. So you're going down and you're going to meet them. And sometimes you try to pick people up, but it's just like, you know, you're ever in a room and you're like in a good mood, and then someone walks in like the wet blanket, and then they're all of a sudden you're like, you're in a bad mood, you feel tired, you feel exhausted. Then you're hanging out with somebody cool, and all of a sudden you're like, I want to dance, I want to dance. So, you know, you got to watch, because you want to really like match frequency.
That was usually me. I was usually the person that I always felt good about that, because even when I felt like garbage, I was always that person. They were like, but you make me smile, you make me happy, you make me want to do this, you make me want to do that. And like, I mean, I was still going through like hell, but I mean, I just felt like, okay, but I don't want to walk around with.
No, you handle it differently.
You know, like.
But that's why I like have to have like different outlets and different tools. Like if I wake up and I'm all like, whew, I mean, I have like my go-to things that I need to do, and sometimes it's just I need to go be alone. I need to be alone in nature and like start to appreciate, look around, and have gratitude. And then I'm like, wow, I really have nothing to be really complaining about. And or I'll go do my dancing, or you go do meditating, or like yoga, and it really changes your frequency, because it something has to change, because if you just keep staying like that,
you just go lower.
You're just done.
It's like you just kind of go to the lowest rung, and then you're just like, all right, well,
Hey, this is the first time I can actually see myself on the screen.
I told you it probably was just something where we had to end and start it over, and it probably would have been fine. And I was like cursing in Italian. I was like, I hope nobody heard that. Did you curse? I was like screaming. I'm like, what the heck? Because it like paused, and then like I don't know what happened, and I still saw you, but it like then you left, and then you were sending the request that I could see it, but my screen just kind of went black, like a faded black, and I was like, what?
I finally could see myself on the screen, and I was like, oh, so see the blinds in the back. I'm like, hey, I didn't even know what it looked like.
Just talking into the abyss.
Exactly. I just kept looking at your eyes. I was like, I got you from here. And
I still think that's hilarious because I hope someone took a screenshot. I mean, I don't know because.
No, I should have took a screenshot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was.
I saw that.
I thought it was funny that when you're like, I can only see your eyes like from here, and I'm just like, that's got to be hilarious.
When you went down like that, I was like, oh, lost Dana.
I just thought that was hilarious when you're just like, all I see is your eyeballs. I'm like, that's got to be a great view of just somebody's eyeballs. It gives a whole new meaning to looking into someone's eyes when you're talking to them.
No, got you.
It's like you really can't really avoid it at that point.
Oh man.
But yeah, Instagram's been going wacko. I think with all the lives and people in quarantine, I think it's like
Mercury's in retrograde right now.
Well, that I knew.
My computer was breaking down, my phone. I mean, it was just the last couple of days have been nuts.
Yeah, everything's kind of going haywire. I've noticed that a little bit too, and you know, all social media is kind of just all kabobbled, and it's just like I was very rarely even on it that much the past probably the week. I was not as active as I normally am, but yeah, no, I mean, like what you were saying about energy, it's like it's very true. I mean, we go from, look, I mean, I help a lot. I mean, I tell my friends, you can call me at 3:00 in the morning. I don't even care, but they don't overuse it. They don't overstep it, and they never are so like to the point where, they're bringing people down with them. Like we all have our moments, but we're not bringing each other down to like the bottom rung of like, to the hole of never getting out. It's just normal stuff that we sometimes just need people to talk to, different perspectives.
Yeah.
I've always been, I'm great. Like I said, I'm great with it with other people. When it comes to my own self-care and self-love and reaching out for help, I always tell people, I'm not going to lie. I'm very authentic. I am not good at it. But I say that like in my videos and when I'm talking to people, I said, I'm learning too. I always believe teachers are students as well. And I've gotten better at it, but I'm bad at it. I'm not going to say that. I never used to put myself first. I always put myself on the back burner. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm fabulous at self-care. I'll go a whole day without even eating, and even the next day I don't sleep ever. I'm just like,
I got so much better with it. Like something shifted for me, and I started like, really taking care of myself because I was just like, wow, because people like us, you get really depleted, you put yourself last, you wind up in the hospital, you wind up sick, and you can't. You gotta take care of yourself, otherwise you're no good to anyone. There, you got to put on your own oxygen mask first, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure in a couple of states I have my own wing in hospitals at this point, but
you should have the Bullies Keep Out wing hospital.
It's just like, oh, there's data for Bullies Keep Out, let her come in. Yeah, just send her to her normal room, and whatever surgeries we have to make up to do, just give her mysterious weird shit, and yay. And it's like, but that's been like since I was like 18, 19 when it all first started with the mysterious disorders and stuff. I was like, it's been never ending. It's like on and off. So it's kind of just something you kind of adapt to. It's like, what do I have, a sign in my head that says like, just give me the weirdest shit that nobody ever heard of?
Oh, I know. It's so crazy, right?
And then a lot of it, I had sometimes people tell me, they were like, well, and I have this one doctor and he's like, yeah, but you know what? He goes, and your anxiety ain't helping. Your stress is not helping it. all these things are not helping it, and they could be contributing to you having some of these things.
Of course.
And, you know, the very first time I got sick,
everything. Stress, well, because, you know, it throws your adrenals way out of proportion, and then your glands are like, you know, your kidney, your liver, everything is working from that, because the adrenals are shot. Forget it. You feel like you have mono, you know?
Oh, yeah. And I've had mono.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was 18, and I was just like, what the hell is that? I mean, I remember people were calling it the kissing disease. I'm like, okay, I'm not running around kissing the whole universe, so what the hell? But then you find out that it's not like exactly what everybody says. But I mean, I was younger at the time, and I was an athlete, so I was like, I'm as healthy as a horse. What the hell happened?
No, I know.
I just like we just fell apart.
You have siblings?
I do. I have a younger brother who's, well, they're both much younger than me. I have a younger brother who's like, I'm gonna be 41 in July, so he's 11 years younger than me, so he's not even 30 yet. And then I have a half sister, but she's my sister. I don't do the whole half thing.
Right.
But she's even younger than him, so she's in her like early 20s. So yeah, they're both much younger, and we're all in different states. He's in San Francisco, but he's not a New Yorker. Like everybody, him and her are the only ones that are not New Yorkers. And he lives in San Francisco with his girlfriend, and she's in Florida. She's still in Florida, but. Yeah, I have two, but and they're we're all very interesting. We're not like the people that we grew up around at all. Like not one of us.
When you hear this back, if you watch it, it was really funny because you were talking about your brother, your sister, and you're like, you know, and she's like, you know, half, but I don't do the whole half thing. You said I don't do the whole half thing.
I can't, like, you know, I talk with my hands, and I actually like do the, like, she's like, I don't do the half thing. She's really not that big.
The whole half. She's a whole.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what I'm saying anymore these days, so it's kind of just like.
No, but I mean, it's siblings are great, you know, and we by the same parents. I have 5 other siblings. There's 6 of us.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's always interesting to see how different each kid is and how different things affect them, but the other one is okay, and it's interesting.
Yeah. My brother is he's nothing like me in the anxiety and stress department. Like, my anxiety has sent me, like, remember when you said it when you were doing a sound healing, and you said that you used to go to the hospital often? Mm-hmm. For it, I used to do that. I mean, I always lived next to hospitals for some reason, and I always ended up next to them, which I don't know.
CBD, girl, you need CBD.
I need something.
No, it's a game changer.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that to me. I probably should look into it.
No, for sure. I'm telling you, you got to get the right one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Gets rid of your stress. I swear to God.
Does it?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm kind of always like.
You gotta just know how to do it. I can help you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you do that because I think I'm at a point where it's like, you know, when I was younger, it kind of just like went off my back. It was no big deal, or like, you know, I smoked a cigarette or I had a drink, you know, and now it's like. My doctor's like, don't do any of those things. He's like,
and they don't.
I mean, first of all, I can't smoke anymore anyway, which I'm done with. Smoking was a stress habit. It wasn't like, oh, I love smoking. You know, it was a stress habit. But now because, like, you know, with the blood clot and the pee and all that, I can't.
You see all these people? They're like, we got Brazil. I love you too. We got Brazil, Argentina.
Oh wow, yeah, Argentina.
So
yeah,
cute.
They're all over.
I love you guys.
Yeah, you guys must be tired. What time is it?
They go so fast. Simple. I love these people.
Yeah, they're great.
We have like the greatest people on here right now.
Yeah, we do. There's a lot of them.
Hey.
Wow, Peru. Oh, no, I recognize that name.
They stayed up. Look at this.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of people that stay up.
Zoe! Yo, Zoe's on the phone. How do you like that? The little Zoe baby. Aww.
Wow, yeah, there's Marilyn.
No,
This one's.
my brother's on on the phone.
Oh yeah, there. Yeah, I was just gonna say, look, there's your brother.
I was talking about siblings. That's my brother John. He's a doctor in New York. The best.
Yeah, no, I know you have.
Babes.
I know you have a brother. I see him often, and on your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, when I saw that name, I was like, look, your brother's in here.
I know, and I couldn't see anything because I could only see black, and then your eyes like that.
the infamous eyes. I'm I'm a ninja.
Before, but I couldn't see myself, or I couldn't see the screen on the bottom with people coming in. So I love yous, you know.
Hopefully it doesn't look like that when she downloads it. But I mean, who the hell? We've had so many technical issues. I mean, she'll fix as much as she can. But yeah, I mean, if we just see this, it's like I always tell people I'm a ninja. So.
Girls in Brazil. We love the Brazils. Yeah. I love you.
Kisses from Brazil.
Look at all the love getting. See?
Oh, wow.
The love. Who needs sleep?
Yeah, right. One person's like, it's 2 a.m.
I love
all right. Sassy Sledgehammer. I know who that is.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. There's a lot of people I recognize in here.
Cute. These people are the best. Trishy's Dishies. Trishy's Dishies are here. It was so cute. I did a Zoom the other day, and so many people joined in from so many different countries, and they asked me if you had a fan account, what would it be called? You know, Lana has regal, keep it regal. I said Trishy's Dishies, like, you know, little dishies, and
yeah,
and then they started some accounts. It was so cute.
I've seen some because some have followed me, and some were sharing the stuff. So yeah, I've seen some.
Ireland. Yes,
yeah, I remember the Zoom that you did. I saw that somewhere. I think you shared it. Antoinette did one too.
Yeah, Antoinette did one. Oh yeah. Oh, you mean a Zoom?
The Zoom, yeah, she did one too. I think she did it before yours.
Yeah, she did it before ours.
Yeah.
We were just doing like we took up to like I think 100 people, and then my producer just wanted to keep it kind of contained.
Yeah, so good.
Everybody was really great, and they waited with their questions, and it was really, I mean, just beautiful people. Just like, that's why, I love what you do for Bullies Keep Out, because some of the people on our calls or who are fans or who follow us, if I think about any of them being bullied, oh my God, like I just want to go hug them and just say, we got this, because it's a horrible feeling to be bullied. And especially if you keep it in and you're quiet and you don't share, or, if it's happening at home, and then you can't focus on your schoolwork, you can't focus on anything. That's why I say it's when you get it when you're young. I mean,
and then when you're silent, a lot of other physical, manifestations of physical and emotional things come out of that when you're silent. Like, that's why, it goes into, that's why suicide is on the rise, and
oh my God,
self-harm and all these type of things that I've had people come to me about, and we've done pieces about or interviews about and campaigns about and stuff. And it's like, when you keep, I mean, and I also speak from experience, because I was one of those kids that I just used to push and push and push, to where just like one day it was just like whoosh. And it wasn't until I was like 16 or 17. And it's basically, and I would be drinking, and then it would be like, I'm depressed, I'm sad. I'd be having fun one minute, and then I'm all depressed and I'm sad because then I'm drinking too much, and then it gets to that.
That's what
and that's exactly what I did when I was young, and I was doing it a lot. And then I even did it, and I met a woman who kind of took me under her wing, and she was like a mother to me. And it's kind of like, she kind of taught me how to be affectionate, how to accept love, how to be loved. And I was still bad at it, but she never left. She really, it was an unconditional thing with her. And she really, even though I was still a mess, she really, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for her, I mean, I learned a lot of how to do, and then my ex as well, because I mean, they were very affectionate people and all that stuff. And I wasn't around that. So I was just like, it's weird. And then now I'm just like, and then I ended up turning into this, and I always wanted to be that type of person. I always loved the whole idea of big family, big group of great friends and good people. I love hugging and kissing and giving affection. I just was weirded or out to it. And now it's
used to it. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta practice. It's like at first it's like awkward, you know. It's like,
it's like,
you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, don't let go, you know. But once you let yourself surrender into being loved and like feeling like you deserve love and accepting it, then it's gonna feel good. No more awkwardness. And then you go back and go, oh, remember I used to be like so weird when you're hugging.
You know, you're all tough and badass, and it's like you kind of intimidate everybody, and then it's like now you're a giant mush, and now I hug and kiss everybody, and I'm like, you need a hug for like 10 minutes. I want to hug for like 10 minutes.
I know, that's the hardest part about this pandemic is all I want to do is hug people, and I can't.
I know. So, I mean, I haven't hugged somebody in months. I'm like, I'm just going to start. I think I posted a joke. I'm like, I'm just going to start running out with my mask and hugging people because everybody that I want to hug is like in different states. My good friends, people, they're all scattered. I mean, I have some close friends in New York, but a lot of
everybody's writing about hugs. You see everybody?
Hugs are the best. I miss hugging.
We all need to be hugged, right?
We need like a collective.
I need a hug right now. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, tell me.
I'm self-hugging.
I mean, that's pretty much what I have to do.
I mean, like, it's a hard time out there, all around. It is. Everywhere. That's why
it's mentally draining, and mental health is like really a concern right now for a lot of people. I mean, any of us.
Yeah. No, I mean, the whole.
Did I think? Fix it? Oh, there we go. I don't know what that was.
I know. I'm telling you, Mercury in retrograde, girl.
I'm very tech.
Can you?
I'm very tech savvy, so.
Yeah. Can you hear the music that's on here now? Right.
I did hear something a while back, musical.
How did it sound?
It sounded nice. It sounded good. I thought, like, when you said you did a sound healing, I was like, are you still doing it magically? Because that's what it said.
No, but I mean, these aren't the bowls. This is just like some really nice music.
No, it sounded nice. I liked it. I thought I heard something, but I was like, I don't know if like it's my end or her end, but it was nice. But I did hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I was like, Trish has some magical power. She's doing like a sound bowl, hearing sounds from somewhere, and she's sitting in the room, and you can still hear sound bowl here.
Someone's asking what kind of dancing I do. I do a lot of, freestyle dancing, movement of the body, shaking it out, dancing. I make up my own moves, you know what I'm saying?
Those are the best dances to do, though, in fact, guys. I mean, look, I actually am very good at dancing. Like, I mean, I could go on TikTok and do those dances, but I mean, my generation, we invented a lot of that stuff that they do on TikTok now. They just do it differently. But, hi, simple, I missed it. It went too fast, but hi. They said hi. Yeah, I mean.
Simplemente Trish.
Yes.
Trish.
She said hi, DJ. So I was like, it went too quick, and I was just
Argentina. She's from Argentina. Very sweet. She was on.
I'm a little bit slow today, guys. Sorry. I mean, TikToks, I like to goof around on it, but I don't do like the serious dancing stuff on it. But I just think dancing in general it's a very good thing to do. It's a very good way to get stuff out, exercise. One of the best exercising.
Absolutely.
And I really recommend it. Even just going crazy.
Everyone on the call should dance all weekend long, and then let us know how you feel. Everybody, let's do like a dancing exercise. All right.
Yep. Record it, post it.
Just get it out of your body.
Record it, post it, tag us, and we'll just have like a dance party on Instagram.
Yep.
And we'll just be like rocking it down on Instagram.
We're rocking it out. We're getting it all out.
Yep. You can do TikTok. You could just, just dance to nothing. I mean, dancing is not about music.
You could do Trish Talk. You could do whatever you want.
Yep. Trish Talk. There we go. There you go. There's a whole new platform. Trish Talk.
Trish Talk. Here we go.
Trish Talk. Yeah, there you go. Dance off, dance for a cause. Bullies keep out. That's a great idea.
There you go. Let's do it.
I mean,
right
there you go. Dance off for charity. So, you know, I mean, but I don't really know
Let's
how.
do a worldwide, you know, dance for bullies.
There you go. There you go. That's a good idea.
I love it. Everybody's into it.
Dancing for love. Dancing for love and unity and peace. And again, you know, dancing for bullies. Yeah, that's good. There you go.
Yep.
Great ideas coming up all over.
I love it. I love it.
Trish, what's your signature dance move? Do you have a signature dance move?
Yeah. I have a lot of them.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go.
That'll be for another live.
Yeah, that'll be for a secret another time. But
I gotta have the right clothes on. I gotta have room. I'm like in a, you know, little baby office.
You made me laugh when I said that. I'm in the office too, and I haven't been in, like, you know, my roommate went to Atlantic City because he like couldn't wait to get out of the house when something opened. So him and his friend like just ran to Atlantic City. I'm like, all right, bye. So I'm like, I have the house to myself. You know, so it's like I could kind of do what I need to do and kind of, you know, meditate, you know, on some things that I've been going through. So it's like, it's kind of a good thing for me. I'm going to do some cooking because I find that therapeutic. But
that's dish with Trish, man, therapeutic.
Yeah, I did your well, I mean, I told you I always do that with my broccoli anyway. I always overcook. I always used to feel like I overcooked it, but I made it the other day. And I was like, this is great. I was like, yay. And I meant to post it and tag you, and then I completely forgot. And I was just like,
why didn't you? Next time you do it.
My mind is everywhere lately. It's just like in 15 different directions. And then with the, you know, I mean, you know, everybody knows because it's all over my social media. But with Bella, I've just been like that whole devastation with me. Like my whole, like my mind is just like in like 18 different directions. And so that's one of the things I think I kind of have to work on this weekend is kind of like sitting with myself and kind of dealing with that because I really haven't been.
So here's what I want you to do. You want to take a challenge?
Yeah.
Okay. So this weekend, I want you to pick out 3 of your favorite songs. Okay. Get quiet for a moment, and then for Bella, just do 3 dances. If you laugh, if you cry, just get it all out. So, and then you got to let me know how it goes because I'm telling you, it's going to help you and it'll ground you and it'll shift you. And then you could, you know, so do 3 songs for her.
Yeah, I do need to do that because I mean, I even had a friend tell me, they're like, you're hitting walls at this point because you're not dealing with your grief. And I'm like, I kind of just kept trying to push through it, but I can't, that's just something you can't push through.
No, but you could, you know, so you could, you know, just lean into it. Let yourself feel it. So if put on a song like that makes you cry, you know, and then like just let yourself cry and it'll just like shed. All of a sudden, I swear to God, you're going to feel better because we hold on to the tears so much. We try to be strong, keep on choking them back. And really all that needs to happen is we need to release all the tears. And then once you do, oh, why didn't I do that sooner? Oh my God, I just needed to cry. Sometimes you just need to cry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm bad with that. I always tell people it's like no crying in baseball. They're like, so many people are like, I've never seen Dana cry. I'm like,
Guess what? We're not in baseball, so I want you to cry.
I don't cry, but I'm like, I do it like behind my closed doors where nobody sees me except like, you know, when I was younger and I was obviously self-medicating, having a great time drinking, then all of a sudden I'd be hysterical and I'm just like, oh, there went that out the window.
Well, look, someone just said, have you ever cried so long you cried yourself to sleep? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we've all done that.
Yeah. But,
well, I mean, it was Ileana Van Zandt that said one time, and it really hit me in one of her shows, and she said that so many of us have never really truly been around someone that has allowed us to let our heart fully break, fully break. And she was like, everybody needs to do that at some point in your life. And if you don't ever allow yourself to do that, and I really thought about it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever done that.
Well, you want to hear a great thing about saying those words? And this is what I always say, like, you know, when you're going through a really painful breakup and you say your heart broken, right? But when you let your heart break, you know what happens? It breaks open.
Yeah.
And then you are really changed. I mean, I've been in the middle of breakups where I was like, this is so effing painful, right? But then I also feel all the beauty that I could never get to because I'm going to the depths of the pain. And so the way I always say it is, this is painfully beautiful.
Yeah.
But you have to let yourself go there. People will cut it off. They'll drink, they'll smoke, they'll go have sex with somebody, whatever they do.
Yeah.
Be in that pain. Oh my God, that's when you really grow. That's the
Yeah,
winner.
no, it definitely is. I mean, and I could tell you, like, I stopped doing that because I did that for a very long time, and I won't deny it when I was younger, and you know, it was like.
Wait, there you go.
When I was younger, yeah, I know, I saw it do that. I used to do that, and that's what I did. I was just out having a good time, or I was drinking, even if I was drinking at home, and I was married at the time, and it was just like, you know, I was just, everything was like I was young, and I just was not dealing with anything, and I was just, you know, it was coming out in the wrong ways, and it was like, you know, but I had like supportive people in my life at that time helping me through it, but there was just so much, like when we talked about built up, when you build things up, there was so much built up that. I don't know what is this fuzzy thing? I'm looking at a fuzzy thing.
The other side, that was the other side of my sound healing there. All the white and the bowls. And
I'm looking at a fuzzy thing.
I learned a new trick that you could turn the camera around.
That's what I was doing earlier.
Someone wrote like a beautiful comment, and I didn't know how to like heart it or something, and I just couldn't, so it turned the camera around.
Well, she was hearting you by turning her camera around. I turned it around earlier too, and everybody was staring at like a cup full of bobby pins or something. But I mean, you can turn it around. See, like, look, I mean, you can stare at this little cup right here.
Yeah, but if I turn it around. Oh wait, so what is it? Is it the little round thing on the bottom?
It's the round, the little arrows at the top in the corner. It depends.
Okay,
yeah.
So you see, so look, there's all the sound bowls I was using.
Oh, okay.
I was like using all these sound bowls.
Wow, I love that rain stick. I think I used to have one.
Yeah.
I love that rain stick. That rain stick always feels. I mean, because rain to me is very like. I love that.
Magical.
I'm a water sign, so like the
Cleansing.
beach and the beach water. I'm a Cancer.
You're Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Leo. I'm fire.
My ex was a Leo. Yeah, no, I'm right on the cusp. My birthday is July 22nd, so I'm like the last. Oh, I'm like the last day. Yeah, I'm like almost like. So some people have told me I have traits of a Leo and Cancer because I'm like the last day. Where if my birthday was the 23rd, I'd be a Leo.
Well, if you get your chart read by certain people, they might tell you have some Leo traits and Cancer traits because it depends on what time you were born too, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, it's just so funny, but yeah, no, that I couldn't even tell you. But it was funny when you said you were in a little office and talking about dancing because I was like, I'm a klutz. So it's like I was trying to do something when I was working out the other day and I just like kicked the wall, then I punched the wall, then I stubbed my toe. I was like, this is like a hot mess. I had like, I'm going to just have bruises everywhere. But yeah, no.
Go slow. Go slow, baby.
It'd be like, oh, the day it's woo, punch the wall.
Just like, it's more about like identifying, like, you know, feel where the pain is and release it. But you don't have to like, you know, do flash dance.
No, I mean, I was, you know, it wasn't really was that small of a space, but I'm just sometimes a klutz, and when I'm like, my mind is going all over, and I was exhausted, and I'm just like stubbing my toe, punching the wall by accident, walking into the wall. I was just like, this is great. This workout's going good. I was like, I think I should stop before I have to go to the hospital for something. I drop like a weight on my foot or something. I was like, forget it. God. The last place I want to go right now is the hospital, especially the one by me. The one in Queens by me is like COVID central, so it's like no, not that bad anymore. But it's just.
Oh like, yeah. Where do you live in Queens?
I'm in Elmhurst. That's like kind of next door to Jackson Heights and Corona.
Right. Yeah, you know, I was born in Queens.
No, I know. I remember when you first told me because you yelled at me for being a Yankees fan. You're like, you should technically be.
When you're right underneath you're right near Shea Stadium.
I'm like 10 minutes from Citi Field. I'm like 5 minutes from Citi Field, and I remember one of the first times we
get
spoke.
it. Don't come to my house. My family would kill you.
You're like, you should technically be a Mets fan. I'm like, I do have Mets stuff. I like the Mets. I just have always been a Yankees girl. I'll wear Mets stuff.
You better get your orange and blue going.
It's funny, I have a pair of these orange and blue Mets glasses and then a hat and the shirt someone got me. Because I went to, for my birthday, a friend took me one time to a Mets game. And, yeah, it was great. We had a lot of fun, and they think they won. So we were like, oh, they won. We were like,
Mets have more heart.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the Mets. I've never been like a hater of the Mets or anything. I don't know whatever. I don't remember who or whatever.
My birthday's August 17th. Somebody's asking.
Oh, okay. There it is.
August
Trish,
17th.
when's your birthday?
Yeah.
Yep.
We got Pisces. We got Cancer. We got.
I can tell you, I definitely know I fit into the Cancer traits. The Leo, I'm not sure what their traits are.
Tell us about Capricorns besides loving money and stuff.
Besides loving money?
Capricorns are very good at business. They're very good business people. Libra, Leo, a lot of Leos. We got like a bunch of Leos writing in.
I would love to go to New York. You definitely should come to New York, but I don't recommend it right this second.
Well, I probably will come. Because Libra, Leo too. My whole family's there. Like my brother John, who's on the phone. Like, I've been trying to get there. It wasn't a good time, but now you guys have less cases than almost.
I think now you should be fine. I mean, anybody who comes to New York right now should be fine. I think the only people he's really trying to keep out or make quarantine is Florida.
Yeah, they're high
because they're like the new epicenter, so they're saying. So
in Arizona too.
Yeah, and I have a friend there. So, but he's I think gonna make them quarantine. It's a possibility. I read today that he might make them quarantine, which is good because we worked hard to get our numbers.
Oh no, you gotta keep it down.
So I said we need to be careful.
Instead of driving there, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what 2 days though.
Yeah, if you go straight through. I mean, you got to sleep somewhere, but
I mean, it's a fun road trip. I mean, if you think about it, it's safer.
I've done it in 3 days with someone.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I love road trips, but I mean, obviously with someone, not alone. But yeah, road trips can be fun. And and it might be a better option, but the planes I don't think are that packed, to be honest. I have friends that are traveling.
It's not even about them being packed. It's about your risk is 5 times higher on a plane.
Right.
Because just the way that it's set up and the air and the circulation and the way you just catch things on planes. That's, you know what
I mean? That's what it's for me. Like when I asked my doctor when I could travel, he was just like, oh, not right this second. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, not unless I'm driving. But, somebody asked me about the book I was in and they said they haven't gotten it yet. I don't know. Check with Amazon.
The what? My book?
No,
your book.
The book that I did my story in, some people had bought and somebody said they didn't get it. And I mean, I guess call Amazon. I mean, if you're in a different country, things are taking a long time right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if you got it from Amazon, I would say contact Amazon and see what. Yeah. I mean, thank you for the support and I hope you get it.
Yeah, I hope you get it too.
But.
Well, I mean, this was like, I don't even know what time it is, but I'm getting the idea that I have to leave here soon.
Oh, no, yeah, because I think you told me you
What time is it?
I mean, here it's 8:30.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even know what time it was, but
we went an hour and a half?
I don't even, because we restarted it. I don't even know what day or time it is or anything.
I love all of you who stayed up late and hung out with us.
Yes, thank you all.
We had a good number the whole time. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, we had and the numbers were higher. They go up and down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, we had a good turnout. So, and thank you guys for the donation. The 3 times that we restarted, thank you for the donations.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dana. And reach out to me and we'll discuss some school stuff. Maybe we could figure out who we could go to that we know and get it started.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to reach out to you about a couple of things. So I will definitely do that.
2:30 a.m. They just said, yay. You guys rock it over there. We love you.
Okay, well, that was wonderful. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. T, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, baby. See you
later. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.